Hi there. In this video, I would like to talk about and demonstrate the Soleil Cast-On. As you can see in the projection in front of you, this cast-on starts with an invisible-like center cast-on with the characteristics of creating these long loops and mimicking the sun rays, and hence the name Soleil. To start the cast-on, have the right needle tip ready in your right hand and loop the yarn twice around the fingers of your left hand and make a long loop about 3 or 4 inches wide. Then go underneath the 2 loops and pull the working yarn. Then through this working yarn, insert the needle through the front of it and pull another loop, pull the working yarn through it, and then tighten, pull it to tighten. And the reason we do this is because when we close the opening, the center opening here, we want to make sure that this first loop that we created does not get pulled and shortened. So we create this knot in here. Then once you do that, you pull a loop as long as you need the center cast on to be. And in this case, I want it to be about 1 inch long, about 2.5 centimeter long. So I start with that loop, then I go under the 2 strands as if to knit and pull a long loop equal to that first one. Yarn over and continue the process. Yarn over, continue the process, and make sure that every loop that you pull is equal in length to that first loop that you created. Continue to pull as many stitches as are required for your design. When you're finished, you end with a knit stitch, which means you end with going underneath the 2 loops and pulling the working yarn through. Once that's done, pull all of the stitches onto the cable part of the circular needle and then pull on the tail that you left. This is the working yarn and this is the tail that we left. You'll notice one of the loops is shortening. That's okay. Once you have it pretty tight in here, then pull on the right hand side of it or the right edge until the other loop is pretty tight, like this. And then continue pulling on the tail to tighten the other side of it. So here we are. We have that big hole that we created to cast on through is all tight and secure. Then we split our stitches in half. We have 1/2 on the top, whoops, on the left needle and 1/2 on the right needle, in this case on the top or bottom. And this is our working yarn. Let's not confuse it with the tail yarn. This is the tail yarn, this is the working yarn. So now I am ready to begin knitting. And to begin knitting, all I have to do is pull this bottom or right needle tip out all the way so I can begin knitting, and follow my instructions to knit from the left needle tip until all of the stitches are worked. Then as I'm working with my magic loop, I pull the unworked stitches I rotate clockwise and pull the unworked stitches onto the top needle, dip in here, and then continue working to the end of my round.